Okay, you guys, I've got a new stand-up comedian that I'm going to check out. This guy was recommended by a friend of mine, but also he has been recommended in some of the comments of my videos. But this particular bit was recommended by a friend, and it was because of something that happened off YouTube. This whole, everybody gets all prickly when certain words are used, and this is one of the words, the word retard or retarded. So when this particular thing happened off YouTube, he sent me this, and so I've been curious to watch it ever since, but I've just had it kind of, in my reaction list or to watch list, and have not been in the mood to check it out because I'm in different moods at different days. So today I'm in the mood to check this out. So let's go ahead and do this right now. Oh, the guy's name is Titus. And I don't think I've seen any of his stuff before. So this is going to be a new experience for me. So here we go.
Now, before we go any further...
Oh, let me go back. Sorry. Oh,
before we go any further, I want to talk about the word retard, because a lot of people get pissed, especially here in California. Oh my God, you can't say retard. Oh, you can't say retard. In my life, whenever I've used the word retard, never once have I thought of someone with MS or CP or Downs or autism or has got legs going out the back of their shoulders because one of their chromosomes forgot to tell a DNA strand it was going on vacation. That is just disabled. And as a matter of fact, if I ever saw someone calling someone like that retarded, they would have to deal with me physically. That's right. But every man in this room has a buddy.
Okay.
Who after his fifth beer will hang out a car window. Hey, cops!
Oh, jeez.
You want to fight, you bunch of queers? That guy's a retard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's funny.
Every woman in here has a girlfriend who at one point showed up at your house. Oh my God, we got in a fight and he pushed me. He pushed you, you're never going to see him again. I'm never going to see him again. 2 weeks later, not only is she seeing that dude again, she's moved in and agreed to marry him. Retard.
Yep.
Rihanna-tard.
He did say it, didn't he?
And let's define the word retard. What does it mean? It means you were born a certain way. You were born a certain level, but you didn't live up to that. You were behind where you should have been. You were retarded, right? But let's talk about this. That guy in the Olympics with the blades for legs, let me ask you something. Any of you guys make the Olympics? I see people, paraplegics, going to law school, getting these law degrees, taking down these billion-dollar companies in civil suits. I'm sorry, kids with Downs have access to a level of love that we can't even imagine. I'm sorry, that's not retarded. That's advanced. But if you have everything working perfectly, you have all your facilities about you, but you end up addicted to crystal meth and living under a bridge, you're fucking retarded.
Yep. I like this guy.
I have a friend of mine, I got a buddy of mine, got cerebral palsy, a guy named Michael Laronin, very funny comedian, man. But he's knurled up, man. He's like this. And his brain is fine, but he's like this. And let me tell you something about hanging out with disabled people. They use that shit against us. When Mike walks on stage, it takes him forever. Is this how he gets on stage? See how creeped out you already are right now?
Poor guy.
He gets to the microphone. This is how he starts the show.
I just want everyone to know that this happened since I got here. Don't eat the nachos.
Very funny.
Oh,
Very
he's got
smart,
a good sense
too.
of humor, that guy.
So one day we did our show. We're back east. We did shows on Saturday night. Sunday morning we go to breakfast. At breakfast he brings his buddy Tony. I got my buddy Tommy with me. Waitress comes over, asks Tony what he wants, tells her, asks me, I tell her, asks Tommy, tells her. The waitress turns to Mike, looks back at me and goes, what will he have? And I look at Mike because I know something's gonna break off.
Oh.
And I look at him, I see Satan flash across his face. And my first thought was, you don't deserve better parking because you're an evil prick. What I thought was gonna happen, I thought Mike was gonna get indignant. I could handle myself. Instead, Mike goes the other way, turns the level of disability up 3,000%. And goes, I would like to order boobies, yours will be fine, thank you.
Oh, God.
He goes off. The waitress goes, can you turn him off? No, maybe you can flip his switch. For the next hour and a half,
Oh, Lord.
Mike destroyed this woman's psyche. Man, if she put a glass of water down, bam! And oh, that was a tsunami. Oh.
He's kind of buttholy.
She must have brought us like 30 forks. I dropped another pokey thing. I'm sorry. I need another pokey thing for my chicken fingers. How many fingers do a chicken have? Now, I'm his friend. I didn't laugh once, and it was hard. End of the meal, she comes over with the check, and she's got the check, and she's just shaking. The check's vibrating in her hand. She's probably working in a toll booth right now. And she goes, I'm so sorry. Mike goes, don't be sorry, you're my favorite waitress. I will see you tomorrow.
She probably quit her job.
Yeah. So we walk outside, and I can't take it anymore. I lose it. I hit the grass. I'm like, dude, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Mike, dead serious. That bitch deserved it.
Oh, no, she didn't.
That, my friend, is a retard.
No.
So are we clear where I stand on the word now? Good.
Okay, so this was pretty funny. I like this guy. I like how he explained the situation. I do kind of disagree about the treatment of the waitress. I don't sense, based on the story, that she was intentionally trying to be hurtful, or that she, maybe she's experienced people like that cannot communicate very well. So, to be fair to her, I don't think the way she acted was retarded. It was just I think sounds like just an honest mistake. But the story was still pretty dang funny. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, I like how he explains this, and I like that he's able to make light of this sensitive word that, just really seems to get some people in a tizzy. I've had some experiences with people getting pretty pissed at me for using that word to describe a situation that is retarded. Not even using it at anybody or aimed at anybody, but just generally, because generally whenever I do use it, I am talking about a situation that's just so utterly stupid. It's just beyond regular stupid. It's just retarded, And so some people have gotten really upset about that. Oh, it's so offensive, and it's just, you're insulting. Someone said to me one time, I was on a forum. It was an online forum that I was on for many years. It was an exercise forum. A bunch of women in there, way too much estrogen, you guys. Oh my gosh, everything was so dramatic. But anyway, I can't remember how it came up. But somehow that conversation came up, and someone said something to me about, I'm pretty sure that's where it was. I think it was either that or Facebook, but I thought that it was on wherever. It was somewhere online. And you know how people are online sometimes. And it came up, and some person was getting pretty snarky with me. And she knew that my son is dyslexic. And she said, well, how would you like it if I said, oh, that's so very dyslexic? You know, I'm paraphrasing, but something like that. She thought she was going to get a rise out of me. And I'm like, I would think it's hilarious. It's not, why would I be personally insulted if you're not personally insulting me? If you're not being intentionally cruel to somebody, why would that get under my skin that you make light of something being dyslexic? You know, like mixing your words up. I mean, yeah, I've lived with that. It's frustrating, but it wouldn't annoy me because we actually kind of joke about it with my son. Some of the crazy things that he will get mixed up and say, and we laugh at him, you know, and he laughs at himself. So, you know, maybe it's just, I cannot be, I know I'm not the only one that, you know, is not at that level, that doesn't go along with that sort of thing. But sometimes, you know, when you're online, it feels like you're just surrounded by a bunch of, what's the word? Virtue signalers. I'm trying to think of another word. Champions for some cause or whatever. But anyway, whatever. It's not something that, I mean, I just don't get overly offended by the use of certain words because I'm all about freedom of expression. And I feel like that when you start to try to clamp down on the things people say, even if it's stuff that you vehemently disagree with, even if they're being assholey, you guys, I think you're walking a very dangerous path to try to silence or suppress the use of certain words that some people get annoyed about. This is one such example. Someone compared it also to, they said something to me like, what was it that they said? I was describing some insane way that they did the roads here with some sort of new road that they did. And I talked about that it was retarded the way they did it. And someone came on my post on Facebook and said something like, you know how offended you get over circumcision? Well, that's how I feel about the use of that word. Well, number one, that's a complete apples to oranges sort of comparison. Circumcision, especially forced circumcision, which I often refer to as genital mutilation, that's, to me, and to many people, a very blatant human rights violation. Okay? You're talking about you are physically harming someone. Using a word that someone doesn't like, that is not, I mean, you do not have the human right not to be offended by something. So it's like, it feels like people can't understand the distinction between, you know, like words and actual physical actions that hurt somebody. And I just feel like we're in a very bad time right now. I don't know. No, I really don't think that it's just every generation feels this way about the current generation. This really feels like a very bad time we're in right now. It feels like there is a concerted effort to suppress certain freedoms, freedom of expression being one of them. And I don't think this is a good thing that's happening at all. People try to make the claim that, you know, that being against PC culture just means you want to be an asshole. No, that's not what it means at all. What it means is that people who are against that type of prevailing sort of sentiment, they can see, you know, further down, they can see further down in the future, and they can see where it's going to lead to, and they understand the dangers of it. And that's where we're heading right now. I mean, we've been headed this way for a while, but it's really coming to a very bad sort of, I feel like we're just coming to some sort of peak. I don't know when the peak is going to happen, but Maybe we're there now. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, don't be buttholes to each other. But that doesn't mean that I personally feel that people should be censored for the use of certain words that aren't even physically harming somebody. People have made the argument that speech is violence. No, it's not. Speech doesn't physically do anything to anybody. Yes, the reactions to speech can sometimes, be violent, but that doesn't mean speech itself is. So I think people are trying to sort of muddy the waters when it comes to that, and it really shouldn't be. And I really hope that more and more people will kind of come around to some more sensibility when it comes to stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, he made a good distinction. What he said, especially about someone who's got everything's all right with them physically, everything's all right with them mentally, they're not disabled in any way, physically or mentally, whatever, and yet they make really, really dumb decisions like what he was talking about. That's retarded. He's making the distinction between stuff like that. So, and I, like I said, I agree with that. This is pretty brave of him to tackle this particular subject matter. I don't know when this video was made, probably fairly recently, maybe within the past 10 or 15 years. I might be completely wrong. Anyway, I like this, and I do plan to check out more of his stuff. He looks actually familiar to me. Not familiar as in I've seen him before, but familiar as in he reminds me of somebody, you guys, and it's right on the tip of my brain and I can't pull it out. And that's going to bug me now. I can see the guy's face in my head that he reminds me of. Unless, wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if I have actually seen him in something, like if he's been in movies or TV shows and I've seen him and that's who he's reminding me of, him? I don't know. I need to look this guy up. Honestly, I don't know the first thing about him. So I will check out more about him. And I do have at least one other bit of his saved in my to watch list. So I will be watching that at some point. I mean, I'm going to watch everything that's in my to watch list. I just don't know when I'll get around to it because I've got the crap done. Long, very long. Anyway, okay, well, this was fun. And I look forward to putting this up and linking my friend to it so he can see that I actually did watch it. Thank you for the recommendation, Michael. This was fun. And there goes my dog. Okay, you guys. Bye.